The bass will move your bones, will shake you.
It's intimidating just looking at it.
টং লাগানো নেই, টুইটার আছে সব কিছু, টুইটারের উপরই সব কিছু। এবার চেষ্টা করবো আমরা জেতার কম্পিটিশানে।
এই সিস্টেমে অনেক দিন ধরেই আছি, হ্যাঁ, তাদের সাথে কম্পিটিশন হবে, তারপরে দেখা যাবে যে কে কী বলছে, হ্যাঁ, পার্টির ভালো লাগে।
Will make you deaf.
My name is Omar, and I travel to every corner of the planet to document how humans create sound. There's one question that follows me everywhere. What makes sound so powerful that is woven into what it means to be human? Welcome to SoundHunter. Welcome to Kolkata, a city where noise is almost impossible to escape. It's a constant cacophony, absolute madness. Now, imagine taking all this chaos and bringing it to a small rural village 3 hours from here. You'd think it would be completely out of control. Well, that's exactly how one of the most fascinating musical subcultures I'd ever heard of came to life. So grab your earplugs, because we're about to head straight into the heart of one of India's wildest rural rave. When you see giant walls of speakers being carried around on motorized tricycles, you probably do one of two things. Either you just accept it, which is totally fine, or like me, you start asking questions. What is this? Why are they building it? How does it even work? So far, all we know is that here in West Bengal, these giant sound systems appear throughout the festival season. But before they can blast music through an entire village, someone has to put them together. And that's where the local village clubs come in. So I figured the best place to start was right here. I mean, look at this thing. Now we're going to find out how it actually works, what's behind it, and what this thing can really do. Honestly, it's intimidating just looking at it. One of the guys is literally climbing all over it. They've been doing that all day, trying to get everything into place. They started at around 10 this morning and it's almost 5 now. They are nearly finished, but it's still not completely done. So now I want to hear directly from them how they build it, how the whole system works, and why they do this in the first place.
এখানে সবথেকে বড় কথা হলো এটা আমাদের মায়ের পুজো, সবথেকে বড়। তো আমরা মায়ের এতেই সব কিছু করি, ঠিক আছে। আমরা ছোটো ছোটো ছেলেরা মিলে পুজো করি, ঠিক আছে। তো এটাকে রাতের বেলা কম্পিটিশান হবে, সামনে মায়ের বিসর্জন আছে, তার জন্য এটা বানানো। তো এটা মা শীতলা RCF সাউন্ড, ঠিক আছে। এটা কোনো টং লাগানো নেই, এটা টুইটার আছে সব কিছু, টুইটারের উপরই সব কিছু। এবার চেষ্টা করবো আমরা জেতার কম্পিটিশানে। জয় বাবা, জয় শ্রীরাম, জয়
As you can see, these guys are seriously fired up. They really want to win. This is a competition and tonight 11 sound systems are going to battle it out. But first, let's take a look behind the speakers and see how the whole system actually works. This is where all the different components are connected. Looks like a chaotic web of wiring. There are cables absolutely everywhere.
আমার নাম হচ্ছে বিকাশ ক্ষেত্রপাল। এই সিস্টেমে অনেক দিন ধরেই আছি, হ্যাঁ, তাই দাদারা নিয়ে এসছে তোমার কালী পুজো উপলক্ষে এখানে এসছি। আরও আমাদের মতো অনেক সেট আছে, তাদের সাথে কম্পিটিশন হবে, তারপরে দেখা যাবে যে কে কী বলছে, পার্টির ভালো লাগে। এগুলো হচ্ছে C20, এগুলো আছে টেবিলাইজার, তারপরে আছে তোমার প্রেসার বোর্ড আছে, DVD প্লেয়ার আছে, কনসোভার আছে, চিপ মেশিন আছে। এগুলো হচ্ছে র্যাক বাজাবার জন্য 700। এটা হচ্ছে আমাদের শোনার জন্য, উপরে ওইদিকে সাউন্ড তো আমরা শুনতে পাই না, তাই এটা শোনার জন্য এখানে রাখা হয়।
And of course, all of this is mounted on a motorized tricycle, which is honestly incredible in itself. Once the sound system was almost ready, I wanted to hear what all that power actually sounded like. So before the competition began, we drove to another village where several systems were already being tested. I had no idea what to expect. We're still about 150 meters away. I don't even know if you can hear me. This is only the sound check and they're not even running the system at full power yet. I've been around plenty of loud music before, but this is on a completely different level. The competition hasn't even started yet, which honestly makes me wonder how loud this is going to get later tonight. The closer I got, the less it felt like music. What they're playing are called pressure songs. Tracks made up of seemingly random sounds, each one designed to test a different frequency of the sound system. I probably don't even need to tell you how unbelievably loud and surreal it sounded. It felt like standing inside the sound itself. I wanted to get even closer, but my guides quickly stopped me. Within seconds, we became the main attraction. We tried to get closer to one of the sound systems, but it was actually really difficult. Because I think people in the village aren't used to seeing tourists, and within just a few seconds we had a whole crowd around us. Anyway, now we are heading to the actual competition. But first, I thought it would be useful to understand what kind of music they actually play through these sound systems.
So this is Purulia music, and it's a subculture, a remix music, which is very hard hitting. So the bass is very high and it will pump so hard that it will touch your heart, make your bones shake. So that's the kind of music we are talking about, and you must experience it with your eyes and your ears, because I think on the video you can see it, but if you want to feel the vibrations, then you have to come and see this place.
I think it's dangerous sometimes. It could be dangerous for people.
It is very dangerous because the kids are up there on the sound system to fix it up, and they could fall. The whole sound might fall.
And there's another risk, hearing damage. According to the World Health Organization, the risk of hearing loss depends on both how loud a sound is and how long you're exposed to it. And I just want to be very clear here. These aren't your average festival or club speakers. They're built to generate extreme sound pressure. That's what makes them so extraordinary and potentially so dangerous.
If you say that scientifically, above 65 decibel, you should not reach that limit in this country. But today is the occasion. You can bring the sound up. That's no matter. That's for today. That's for fun.
Amazing.
We are heading to the battle now. Everyone's getting hyped. Well, maybe not me quite as much with this little scarf on because I've somehow managed to get a sore throat. But the crowd's getting louder. Honestly, I can't wait to be completely swallowed up by bass from every direction.
They're carrying to the street
To the street.
for competition.
Are we gonna follow it?
Yes, we are
Are
going
we gonna
to
win tonight?
We are going to win.
Yes!
Yes,
sure.
man! How is the George?
But what are they actually competing for? And what's the point of all this?
There are a lot of companies who are the sound vendors, the people who are putting the sound up. So it's a competition between them. Who is the loudest? Who is the best sound? So the person who has the best sound, they get most amount of bookings. So that's why it's a marketing aspect to it. Who is the loudest? Who is the best sound? And who can create most havoc?
The sound was so loud that my microphone simply couldn't handle it. The recording was completely overwhelmed by the bass. So, to give you a better idea of what it actually sounded like, listen to this.
Present by DJ Shayak West Bengal, Bordhoman Memory Set.
I had to get out of there for a second. We are literally in the middle of a residential area, and the streets are so narrow that once the crowd closes in, you're stuck. At one point, two sound systems were facing each other, bass against bass, with hundreds of people crammed in the middle. People started pushing from every direction, you couldn't move, and at the same time, your whole body was vibrating because the bass was hammering you from both sides. We actually had to stop filming because it just wasn't safe anymore. We managed to squeeze into this little alley just to catch our breath. Because honestly, in a crowd like that, if you go down, I mean, you can easily get crushed.
So it's earth-shattering, loud music. The bass will move your bones, will shake you, and those are the words that best describe this sound.
Raul, what is sound to you?
Sound, sound is everything that we hear, but music is something that touches your heart. So sound is everything that we hear every day, from the noise of the alarm to the noise of the cars moving on the street. But music is something that should touch your heart, touch your head, touch your soul. That's what I think.
And what is silence to you?
Silence is where thoughts are provoked. Silence is very important in life. Sound is everywhere, it's all the time. Sometimes, once in a while, silence is also important. That's where we can reflect on ourselves. And it is very important to have some silence, maybe some meditation in the morning or something, to give a break in the day. So, of course, that silence is very important in life as well.
And now you might be wondering, who won? Well, honestly, everyone. For many people in villages like these, traveling hours to Kolkata for a club or a festival simply isn't realistic. So the sound comes to them. Built by hand, loaded onto motorized tricycles, carried through narrow streets and switched on right in the middle of the village. I have to say, most of the time, the volume was so overwhelming that I could barely even make out the music. But standing there, watching the whole village gather around something they had built themselves, I finally understood why they keep bringing the sound systems back. For the night the whole village will remember, and the sound another generation will grow up with.